Hi, welcome to Dark Politics Tarot. My name is Nick, and today I'm going to be reading on what's going on with Pete Hegseth and him calling in the military generals. So around the world, he's called back all these, I think it's 800 generals. I'm just going to I'm not going to read all this, I'm just going to make sense of it here. On Google. So Pete Hegseth has repeatedly expressed disdain for military generals and admirals, and recently ordered a mass in-person meeting that has raised the alarm within the military. He has accused top brass of injecting woke politics into the military and has removed numerous senior officials without public explanation. So, being woke, he says, Hegseth has accused general and flag officers of prioritizing the programs related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this recent meeting at Quantico, he caused a stir, Mr. Hegseth, with ordering hundreds of generals and admirals to attend an urgent in-person meeting at Marine Corps University in Quantico, Virginia on September 30th. The purpose of the meeting was not clearly communicated, causing tremendous uncertainty and apprehension among senior officers. Okay, so enough with the reading to y'all, just to give you a little bit of background, because I'll never be able to explain everything going on with these people. Okay, so I'm going to use the Urban Crow Oracle. I'm going to pull out 3 cards. One jumped. Ooh. Battle. That is not good. That's not good. So why was he calling in all these generals? Was it about being woke? Was it about signing loyalty agreements? Is it about us going into some kind of battle? You know, we are attacking boats from Venezuela, fishing boats. The bond. Yeah, that's the loyalty right there. Aren't they cute? Needing all this loyalty. Needing you to write down your loyalty. Something's wrong if you need people to sign loyalty agreements to you. And Ghost. And I like to point out always the tombstones in this card, because it's not good. All right, so those are the oracle cards so far. But before we get to the reading, I'm going to pull out my Crow Tarot deck. And excuse the noise from my neighbors next door, because they're very, very loud all the time, every time. So I can never make like a video that there's no noise. Okay, so I'm reading on Hegseth, and I get the Sun card about him bringing in the generals. Tell me about this Hegseth bringing in the generals. Bringing in the sheep, bringing in the sheep. The loyalty is come a-marching, bringing in the sheep. I'm sorry to generals and admirals. I know you're not sheep. I'm just thinking of the audacity of Pete Hegseth calling admirals generals. And he's commanding because he did what? He was in the National Guard and he rolled over a platoon that he got eventually thrown out of. I don't know. Seems you're really letting all this Trumpyism go to your head, Pete. It's crossing. Little Pete is the sword here This is a major general. This is the King of Swords. So that you're facing people with probably 30 plus years of experience. And you have the audacity to cross these people with your little, I want you to sign an oath and agreement. They took an oath to the Constitution. How dare you? How dare you, Pete Hegseth? How dare you? And don't underestimate. I know a lot of people are always saying, will the military comply with them? Don't underestimate the people in the military. They took an oath to the Constitution, not to any party. Queen of Wands is the base of the reading. I'm going to come at you with a bat if you don't do what I say. Guess he was feeling his oats. Is this the page? Page of Cups? No, this is the Knight of Cups. Knight or page. I'll look at it closely. I think it's Page of Cups. Here and now, I think it's a lot of bullshit. I think it is. It's a lot of talk. All talk, no action. Overarching energy here is the King of, is that a king? Yep. King of Pentacles. King of Money. King of Value. And we also have a King of, or no, is that a Knight or a King? This is a King of Swords. Did that other card? What was that? I thought, isn't that a King? That's a King of Swords. Oh, this is a Queen. I'm sorry. Delay. Queen of Swords. I have very poor eyesight, so please forgive me. Yeah, we have the Queen. Show me more, show me more. Show me more. Show me more about Pete Hegseth and his little Quantico meeting. What is this about? Ooh, 8 of Swords. Now we have one dog, neighbor's dog, that fights with the other neighbor's dog, and they have a big fight out. The other 2 little dogs on the other end fight with this one next door to me. It's always so much fun living here. It's so exciting. 4 of Pentacles, and our outcome card, Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. Okay, let's go down to the table. Sorry, folks, I forgot to pick. I missed one card. So, the Ace of Wands was the hopes and fears. And this card is the Knight of Wands, is the outcome. Okay. Now that I got that straightened out. So, to begin with, we have the battle back here, the bond, and the ghost. Battle, bond, ghost. So it could be something to do with they want to go to war. They want their loyalty. There's some kind of battle in the works. Could be against Venezuela. Could be something to do with Russia. I don't know. But they want the loyalty commitment. I think it's going to be like you need to recommit to Donald Trump, and good luck, you know, Mr. Champagne, because I don't think so. These are people that have fought in wars, and I don't think they want to die for Donald Trump. They would die for their country and their country people, but not for Donald Trump. So I think that That's what the ghost card is reminding me of here. That these people are experienced. They've been to war. They have been the ones to win wars, and they've fought. They've seen the damage. They're not going to go into war easily. And any kind of freaking oath you think any of these experienced people will ever give to him, some kind of oath to Donald Trump, you got another thing coming. Just saying, Petey. The Sun card comes out first. I think this is about Pete Hegseth's overflowing ego. So he thinks he's all that, and that he can rule over generals, admirals, you know, the highest ranking. I don't even know who the highest ranking is in the military, but there's a lot of them. But he's coming out with this big ego, this big chest pushed out, and going to give him a tongue wagging too. But what he doesn't realize is the experienced admirals, generals. Is this the sword? Yeah, the King of Swords. So the King of Swords here is saying, not so fast, dude. Airplane flyover. Not so fast, dude. They might sign something. Might. I don't know about that though. This is crossing him. Their experience. They might have a way of handling him. I don't know what that is. But believe me, these people, this guy is a twerp. He's a twerp, and this King of Swords means business. I don't think they're going to take a talking down to, so happily. Okay, this was not at the base of the reading. I'm just going to go with it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just putting this out there. This is the Queen of Swords, and I don't think it was the base of the reading. But I'm getting the overarching energy. More people are not going to have it from little Petey. Now, the Page of Cups, you know, this is Pete himself, I think, the little drunk. He's got the cup in his hand, thinking he's going to go there all powerful, chest puffed up. But this is how they see him, a little drunk. And I'm sorry to anybody here that has suffered with alcoholism or anything. I'm not trying to put anybody down with that disease, but him I want to, because that's what he is. He's a drunk, and he's in charge of the Pentagon, of the entire National Defense Department. Like, this should not be. This weekend Fox newscaster. Give me a break. Then we have the King of Pentacles at the top. So he's surrounded by these experienced military people. Surrounded. Boom. Crossing him. Under him. Above him. And he's this little twerp. Right? Here's another one who is a queen. He's surrounded by, I mean, look at this. Surrounding this. All these people of authority. He's gotten himself into a bind here. The Eight of Swords, this is your own self-doing, and he could get out of it if he stopped thumping his chest at everyone and doing all these asinine things. Sorry for my mouth here. You know, I have a potty mouth. Four of Pentacles. The environment around him is sticking to their guns. They're sticking to their plan. I think they're plotting against him. I think they're sticking to what they know, and that's the Constitution, and they know how to run military, not this little guy. And the hope is that the big club comes out and scares everybody into making agreements of loyalty to Donald Trump. We'll see how that goes, Pete. I don't think it's gonna go so good for you. Your outcome card is the Knight of, is this swords? Oh, that's a sword. Wait, is that a club or a sword? No, it's a club. So the Knight of the Clubs comes out. This is your outcome card, Pete. I think you're just like a showboat. You know, your TV magazine host. Everybody sees what you are. You're out there making a lot of noise. Nobody cares about you. Nobody believes you. Nobody's going to make oaths to you or Donald Trump. I don't know how it goes down, how they go through this with, let's not take all these away. I don't know how it goes down without how they work around this. But maybe you can sign something with your fingers crossed behind your back, you know? I don't know how they do it, but I think there's going to be loyalty among military generals. I don't think, you know, there will be Trumpsters in there for sure. But you can't take all these people together and think you're going to have everybody going against the Constitution. I just don't think that's going to happen. Let's just clarify. We got some time here, right? Yeah. So I'm using the mini Rider-Waite, and I'm going to clarify. Oh, that came out, but I didn't ask it what I was clarifying. Let me just look at this. I want to look at the crossing card. I want to look at what, or any of these generals, admirals going to do here. I'm going to clarify on this King of Swords. So show me, what do they do? Are they going to be loyal with each other? Which I think you have to give them a lot more credit than people are giving them, that they took an oath to the Constitution and not a king. But let's just see, what are these generals, these high-positioned, highly experienced officers going to say to Pete Hegseth? What are they going to do? Are they going to go along, or will they resist? Go along or resist? All right. They don't like what's going on here. They don't like what has become of the government. They might have been Republicans their whole lives. They don't like where this regime has brought them. Yeah, they're going to push back. They're going to push back. That is the Five of Wands. That's a card of fighting amongst yourselves. And the final card here, they're going to come together against Heggy Boy. So no, they are not in allegiance with him. They don't like what happened to the government. They don't like what Trump has done to our government. They will fight each and every part of Pete Hegseth and the regime. The military is coming to an allegiance together. They have an allegiance to the Constitution. So I'm not so worried about them. Any other thing I have to look at here? Oh, the battle. Yeah, let's just move the cards. I think we need a new reading here. This is going to go a little longer. Hope you don't mind. If you're clicking off now, please give me a like when you go. And if you stay for the next reading, which is going to be on this, is Pete going to be talking about a battle? So I'm going to pick out, which deck do I want to use? I'm going to use this deck over here. Hold on a second. Okay, new view. So we're going to read on the battle, because this did come up first. So I want to know, is Pete Hegseth, is the regime looking to start a battle with Venezuela? They've targeted, they've hit their boats. Well, first we'll just ask about not Argentina, about Venezuela. And then if it's not Venezuela, we'll ask to see if it's something to do with NATO, Russia, what's going on over there. So the wheel came up first for Venezuela. This is Destiny card. This is going, these cards. I'm using, by the way, the Starman tarot deck. The Wheel of Fortune came up first. That's a Destiny card if we're going to war with Venezuela. You're gonna pick a fight with them? The Emperor sure wants to. A lot of interruptions today, sorry guys. So, are we going to war with Venezuela? The Two of Pentacles at the base. Are we going to war with Venezuela? The Moon card in the here and now. War with Venezuela. Three of Pentacles. War with Venezuela. I hope not. 10 of Swords. These cards are much bigger than the other cards, taking up much more room. And the Empress makes an appearance here. 3 more cards. War with Venezuela. Queen of Pentacles. These are very, very detailed cards. They're hard to see, but I love their energy. 4 Pentacles, and the outcome card is King of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm just going to keep you up here with me. We're looking at this here. I asked if we're going to have war, and I said it's a destiny. Our destiny is that this perhaps will come through. But also, we have the Emperor crossing. So maybe our destiny is not to go to war with Venezuela. But Orange Crush, the Emperor, is pushing it through. On the base of the reading is the Two of Pentacles. So I think these generals are going to try to give Pete Hegseth a talking to, and talking more about balance and diplomacy and not going to war. But everything is up in the air right now. Why? Because the moon came out. So, you know, we have all this darkness surrounding this regime and Pete Hegseth, and you know, it's very unclear what's going to happen, what's the real motive. And I think that's what these officials, these generals want to know. Like, what is the real motive? And there's a lot of chaos surrounding the whole thought of even doing this. But I do think this reading is about Venezuela and not Russia. The Five of Pentacles, they're telling them this isn't going to be good for the American people. This is really costly, and I mean costly in the value of lives, not about money. The cost of putting American soldiers to fight a war that is unnecessary. So I think that Five of Pentacles represents that. And then we have the Ten of Swords. There's going to be too much death. There will be death, and they have to make this clear to this regime that we can't do this with the Ten of Swords. That's what we're going to have to go through if we go to war with them, because they're not playing. Saw a video, Venezuelan citizens are like practicing how to fight. It's just unbelievable. The Empress is here, and yeah, this is the situation where, you know, I see this as Trump again, you know, the emperor and the empress, like, it's orange. And he's such a baby. I'm sorry for this whole video. I hope it gets through. There's been so many interruptions because my son is going in and out and the neighbors. I forget what I was talking about, but I was talking about the Orange Menace here, you know, the Empress. And then in the environment, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So I just think, again, this is like the Pete Hegseth reading. Like, there's a lot of very powerful people. This might not be Trump. This could be just the powerful military around him saying, we can't go to war. We don't want this. The people do not want this. The Four of Pentacles. I think they're sticking to it. Like, we don't want this. And what comes out on top is the King of Pentacles. Now, you could say this is Trump, but I don't think so. I really see this whole reading here with the battle that Trump wants, that they need, because when you have a battle, it brings the country together. And our country is so divided, and his poll numbers are down, 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 underwater. He needs something to bring Americans back up together again. Naturally, they start wars. So, what this reading told me, yeah, there's still a lot that can happen because we have the moon here. Everything's hidden from our view right now. But I don't think that anybody wants what the emperor wants. I think the generals know what they're doing. So I think our destiny as Americans is we don't want war. And this guy's going to push for war. And what is it going to do? It's going to leave everybody. It's going to leave death everywhere. Nobody wants that for their kids. Nobody wants that for their country. Nobody wants this. So the battle, I think possibly that when the sun finally comes out, that these generals, admirals, these high state experienced military can talk Pete into talking Trump down, or whatever it is that they have to do. It's very murky right now. Things could happen, but I really have just put your positive thoughts that this will not happen for us, that we're not going to go there. And I'm sorry for all the, things going on here. This is what happens when I read on a Saturday in the afternoon. It's just absolutely not, weekends are not good for me to read. But thanks if you watch this far. Please think of subscribing and liking and all the good stuff. And I love you guys. And I think I have one more reading I'm going to do while it's quiet. Now it all got quiet. Bye-bye.